first of 5 8-lap heat races for the Dwarf cars. Starting on the inside front row, it's the Howards Racing. Special thanks to Nan & Pops, JT's Go Fast Shop, Fudge Family. Sponsored entry from Klamath Falls, Carson Hood. Outside of him, it's the 09S. Special thanks to Jim Nelson, local IBW 659, Hugs and Kisses Daycare, Nails by Brittany, Lather and Love Pet Grooming, Smith Racing, Winningham, Ziegler Logging, Mike's RV Service, CNC Tires out of Medford, Caden Smith. The 31 Double D out of Bay Point, California, N.J. Hauling, All Spec Sheet Metal, RH Motorsports, Wagner Racing, Western Mobile Services entry of Ellie Russo. 51S, that's Devin Lahore got a grants pass in the LRC Dwarf Chassis, Young's Automotive Repair sponsored car. The 040 of Bryson Smith out of Portland, Point S Tires, Madison Automotive, CC Coatings, Action Auto Glass, St. John's Marine Center, P&W Motorsports, Next Gen Safety Gear. Outside of him, the quickest qualifier in this group, the Triple R Motorsports, J&B Racing LRC Chassis car out of Medford, Camden Robustelli, and car number 25S, and the 54S, Bud Lawrence out of Cave Junction, the Lawrence Construction, Roundup Coffee, Rogue River Car Wash, Oregon Cave Chevron, L&J Landscaping Machine. 7 cars, 8 laps, heat race number 1 of 5 for the Dwarf cars is going to get underway, and Caden Smith issues in the 09S off of the bat. Looks like we're going to get this one underway regardless. Battle for the race lead on the opening lap. Here is Carson Hood, the initial race leader, but Ellie Russo, the defending sportsman champion for the Western States Dwarf Car Association, gets the point for lap number 1. Ellie Russo, your leader. Bryson Smith battling with Carson Hood for second. The 04S is Smith on the bottom. 040 is Smith on the bottom. He's going to bring Devin Lahorg with him in the 51S up to P3. Carson Hood is 4th. 5th, Camden Robustelli. Now Robustelli moves up into 4th. Bud Lawrence running in 6th. 7th belongs to the 09S of Caden Smith. As Ellie Russo from Bay Point, California, part of California's East Bay area, trying to pull away from Bryson Smith and company. Devin Lahorg 3rd. Camden Robustelli, quickest in qualifying. He's the defending ISCS weakest speed champion. Now count him as your 3rd place runner, getting underneath Devin Lahorg for 3rd. Bryson Smith starting to reel in Ellie Russo. Meanwhile, going purple on lap number 4. Camden Robustelli past the halfway mark. 5 laps complete, 3 laps to go. Ellie Russo has led the whole entire distance. Bryson Smith 2nd, Camden Robustelli 3rd, Devin Lahorg 4th. Up to 5th is Caden Smith. As Bryson Smith goes for the race lead, he's going to pace the field with 2 to go. Ellie Russo trying to control the top spot using the middle of the racing surface. Bryson Smith on the bottom. Camden Robustelli behind both drivers as they nearly clash going into turn 3. White flag is out. One more trip around the speedway, neck and neck. Ellie Russo is going to be your leader for lap number 7. Will she be the pace setter for lap number 8? There's still drag racing down the back straightaway. Bryson Smith advantage going to 3. A little bit of a counterattack move is, oh no, Camden Robustelli trying to get in and take the top spot, and no checkered flag. We are under yellow. Looks like a right front wheel and tire disconnecting and rolling back to the 31 Double D of Ellie Russo, and we are yellow. Caution is out just as they were coming to the checkered flag. Ellie Russo, the leader of the first, well, the majority of the time. And then Bryson Smith overtook Russo for position number 1. Russo led the first 5 laps. And we'll see how they score this one. Reverting the last completed lap, Ellie Russo and Bryson Smith were fighting hard for the race lead on the back stretch. And Russo was trying to duck under the 040 of Smith, but there was Camden Robustelli, and they all got together. So Bryson Smith leading, Camden Robustelli being shown 2nd. 3rd is Devin Lahorg. 4th, Caden Smith. Carson Hood 5th, and 6th is going to be Bud Lawrence. On the hook, Ellie Russo, an early retirement. Going green, exiting turn number 4. All cars on the lead lap. Green, white, checkered. Finish is up next is Caden Smith in the 09. Goes to the back of the field, being overtaken by Carson Hood and Bud Lawrence. White flag again presented the racing field as Bryson Smith in control of the lead. Camden Robustelli passing and finishing points a premium here. Bryson Smith started 5th, and he will win heat race number 1 of 5 for the Dwarf cars. Camden Robustelli 2nd, Devin Lahorg 3rd, Carson Hood 4th. 5th is going to be Caden Smith, 6th, Bud Lawrence, and finishing in position number 7 will be Ellie Russo. Heat race number 2 will grid up like this, the 01W. The right shop collision, Swan Island Sandblasting, Rebecca's Barber Shop. Entry out of Cresswell, Chris Wright. Outside of Wright, the 71R. That's Roseburg's RC11, TBD Cutting, Tyrell's Auto Body, Burkhart Trucking, the sponsorships. Driving car number 5 and starting 3rd, the Right Shop Collision Center, Rebecca's Barber Shop, Showtime Graphics, Muscle Cars Studio, Swan Island Sandblasting, Danny Altum. 4th in the grid, the 812 Double D, pardon me. Out of Antioch, California, Chance Russell, Galaxy Stainless, Wagner Racing, Dutra Racing Shocks. 55S, Colby Bergquist, Pelican Bay Athletic Association, Preferred Plumbing Incorporated, Schnackers General Hauling, LRC Dwarf Cars. Special thanks to Haley and Ron Botello. He's out of Central Point. 01, that's Chris Kress, Waldron's Outdoor Sports, Home Insulation Services, Courtney Alford of Berkshire Hathaway Real Estate, Double R Powder Coating, Trixie's Creative Design. 22S from Charleston, Jim Ritchie. In the Kinney's, Gifts and Shells, Miller's at the Cove, Sports Bar and Grill, Southern Oregon Pond car. Green is out, Chris Wright to the point in the 01W. RC11, oh my, contact, and Wright, your leader, goes sideways. So 0 laps complete. Chris Wright led the band going into the 3rd corner and getting sideways. That'll bring a halt to the action here. So new front row with the likes of Danny Altum. Danny Altum is a former Willamette Speedway Sportsman champion back in 2012 and multi-time Salem Indoor Speedway Dwarf Car champion. RC11, former sprint car racer, now a dwarf car pilot. And we were going green just as we were introducing the 22S of Jim Ritchie's from Charlestown here in the Coos Bay area. Kenny's Gifts and Shells, Miller's at the Cove Sports Bar and Grill, Southern Oregon Pond, his sponsorships. Ultimate 11, second attempt to get the first lap complete. Our first heat race had a winner come from the 3rd row. We'll see what heat race number 2 can produce. Green flag. RC11 trying to take the high line around Danny Altum. Altum on the bottom just a little bit better. Colby Bergquist, originally 5th in the starting grid, is up to 2nd. Chance Russell 3rd in the 812 Double D. 4th is RC11 with Chris Kress 5th. Chris Wright running in 6th. 7th belongs to Jim Ritchie. Good battle for 3rd here. 11 on the inside of Russell. Russell trying to utilize the middle as RC11 nearly gets sideways in turns 3 and 4. Chris Kress in the 01 is up to 4th. Chris Kress started 6th, now trying to seek 3rd from the 812 Double D of Chance Russell. Danny Altum is your leader. Colby Bergquist is 2nd. Chris Kress is up to 3rd. Maybe having another caution come out. Yes, it will be Chris Wright spinning in turns 3 and 4. 2 laps complete and 6 to go. Your leader, Danny Altum. Single file nose to tail restart. As you see the restart cone coming out, the restart rules are simple. No overtaking until they've passed the cone. No hitting the cone or passing underneath the cone when the green flag comes out. If any of those rules are broken, it will be a penalty of 2 positions on the next stoppage flag, whether it is yellow, red, or checkered. Danny Altum leads Colby Bergquist. Chance Russell is third. Fourth, Chris Kress. Fifth, RC11. Sixth is Jim Ritchie. All cars on the lead lap. Lap traffic has not been a factor in any of these heat races. This is heat race number 2 of 5 for the Dwarf cars. Green is out, and here we go. Chris Kress had just taken over third from Chance Russell right before the yellow flag came out. We'll see if history can repeat itself. 55S of Colby Bergquist really putting a lot of pressure on the 5 of Danny Altum for the race lead. Kress to the inside of Russell, and it is going to be Chris Kress. That's Kress with a K, by the way, for those of you scoring at home. Up to P3, and RC11, bonsai moving to the inside. Little bit of contact between him and Chance Russell. All 4 coming off of the floor from RC11, but he gets back on the racetrack, and we stay clean and green. We'll be past the halfway mark this time by. It'll be 5 laps complete, 3 to go for your race leader, Danny Altum, as Chris Kress fully sends it on the inside of Colby Bergquist, and he's up to second. Quickest driver in qualifying in this group, Chris Kress, was so close to winning last year's Dwarf Car Speedway. Is looking to be off to a good start here in the 2022 edition. Danny Altum has just a couple laps to hold on to the race lead. Chris Kress second, Colby Bergquist is third. They will all see the white flag when they approach the front stretch this time by. Chris Kress sees the opening he needs, and he will thrust himself from the inside of the 5 of Danny Altum, and you've got a new race leader at the white flag lap. Will he retain the position is another question. Is coming out of turn number 4. Chris Kress will be your winner of heat race number 2. Danny Altum second, Colby Bergquist third. Fourth is Chance Russell. Fifth in the scoring order, Jim Ritchie. RC11 will finish 6th, and 7th will be Chris Wright. Heat race number 3, the Walker Concrete, Drager Performance, Showtime Graphics, number 21, out of Mount Angel, Adam Walker, your inside pole sitter. From Redmond in the Deschutes Gourmet Mushrooms, number 53-0, that's Rob Glennie. Starting third, the 22, Double D out of Martinez, California, A&J Hauling, All Spec Sheet Metal, RH Motorsports, Wagner Racing, Western Mobile Service, Travis Dutra. Fourth will be the 88-0 Maverick Chassis, La Fuente Taco Shop, Firestone Tires, Chrisman Racing, sponsored entry from Hillsboro, John Chrisman. Starting in 5th, the 9S. That is Josh King out of Central Point, Teddy Bear Racing, Jim Nelson, Visual Effects, Signs and Graphics, Bill's Glass and Windshield, sponsored machine. The 43-0 who grids up 6th is Tanner Kerr from Albany, Abbas Well Drilling, Abbas Pump Service, Farmers Insurance, Injector Masters, special thanks to Mom and Dad. And rounding up the field, the 99 of Trevor Coates out of Springfield. 7 cars, 8 laps. Heat race number 3 of 5 for the Dwarf cars. We've had 2 heat races, and both heats have been won by drivers coming from the 3rd row. Heat race number 3, Walker and Glennie. Green is out. Good start for Adam Walker in car number 21X. Trevor Coates will spin in turn number 1, and that is going to place us under caution before the first lap can get completed. So everybody will go back to their original restart positions as 7th in the order when they last went green was Trevor Coates. So second attempt is coming up here.
This is
Still Adam Walker and Rob Glennie on the front row. Rob Glennie representing Redmond in Central Oregon, while in the mid-Willamette Valley is Mount Angel. Out of turn 4, second attempt to get one lap in the books. Will begin now. And it's going to be Adam Walker once again to the point. Travis Dutra moves up in a second. Josh King, fifth in the original starting order, battling with John Chrisman for third. Adam Walker leads lap 1, but your sixth place starter and quickest qualifier in this group, Tanner Kerr, looking to leapfrog John Chrisman. He'll successfully do that, as well as Josh King. King, though, looking to take the spot back. Adam Walker leads as it's a 4-car frenzy for second. Tanner Kerr gets around Travis Dutra. 3 wide stair-step formation for P3. Josh King, it looks like, in the 9 may have John Chrisman's 88-0 beat out, as well as the 22 double D of Travis Dutra. As I just say that, John Chrisman the advantage. Adam Walker, Tanner Kerr, John Chrisman trying to hold off Josh King. Travis Dutra is 5th. Then it's Rob Glennie and Trevor Coates, the rest of the running order. Tanner Kerr to the point. Tanner Kerr goes purple on lap number 5 as we're officially past the halfway mark. Tanner Kerr is a man on a mission. Started 6th up to P1 in a matter of 5 laps. 2 laps remaining for your leader. John Chrisman will overtake Adam Walker for second, as Josh King in the 9S tries to follow suit. Travis Dutra is 5th. Rob Glennie and Trevor Coates 6th and 7th. Oh no, Josh King hard in the infield berm. He's going to spin and fall back to 7th. White flag flies. One more trip around the Speedway for Tanner Kerr. And your winner for the second straight time, coming from P6, heat race number 3, Tanner Kerr out of Albany will win it. John Chrisman 2nd. Adam Walker 3rd. Travis Dutra will finish 4th. 5th, Rob Glennie. 6th is going to be Trevor Coates. And it'll be Josh King finishing 7th. Heat race number 4 will grid up like this. Out of Carmichael, California, the Price Mechanical Contractors, Buckeye Window Tint Entry, Austin Quilty. 54-0 out of Boring, Dave Brune and the local 689 Sprinkler Fitters, Joe Schaefer Overhead Door Machine. 16 in, Brian Quilty out of Orangevale, California, Price Mechanical Contractors, Dale's Pizza. On the 46, that's Kyle Thompson out of Hillsboro, Land Shaper Grading and Brush Mowing, Cedar Mountain Construction, his sponsorships. Shane Youngren in car number 18 out of Tigard. Maverick Racing Supply, JT's Go Fast Shop, Rod End Supply, Scotty's Auto Body, E-Power Steering, and the 11 Double D out of Bay Point, California, and J Hauling All Spec Sheet Metal, RH Motorsports, Wagner Racing, Western Mobile Service, Danny Wagner. In car number 38, Anderson, California, represented by Bennett Gooch in the Big Valley Sanitation, Joshua Lazoya, SST Oil, Crown Motors, Joe Gibson, Factory Power Curve Racing, 38. Everything up. Carmichael, California, in the Sacramento area, while Boring, Oregon, yes, it's a real city. It's east of Gresham, east of the Portland metro area. That's the geographical locations represented on the front row here for heat race number 4. One more heat race left for the Dwarf cars as it'll be Dave Brune to the front. Brian Quilty sideways collects the 4 in. Pardon me, the 6 in of Austin Quilty. 46 of Kyle Thompson also in the mix. And we go yellow for the first time in this race. 2, 3. So the House of Quilty collected in turns 1 and 2. 46 of Kyle Thompson spins to avoid. It's going to be a complete restart. Although, unlike our previous heat race, I think we're going to have a little bit of a rearrangement of the restart order. We've had 3 completed heat races. All 3 have been won by drivers that started in the 3rd row. Bryson Smith, Chris Kress, and Tanner Kerr. We're looking to make it 4 straight in this one. It could be the 11 Double D of Danny Wagner or the 18 of Shane Youngren. Five heat races for the Dwarf cars, 1 for the Three Rivers Casino Street Stocks, 1 for the Hornets, and 2 for the Interstate Sprint Car Series. And as far as preliminary action is concerned, 2 B mains for the Dwarfs, and then we'll just have 4 main events to close things out. Night number 1 of ISCS Week of Speed. For the Dwarf cars, just like the Interstate Sprint Car Series, 15 points for quickest in qualifying, 12 for second, 3rd for 8 for 3rd, and 4th fastest in qualifying gets 5. Passing and finishing points are awarded. Top 16 overall get locked in. Top 8 will be a part of the redraw. 17 on back will have to go to the B mains. And for the top 8, we'll start no worse than 8th in the lineup. However, there is a bit of a twist. If there are tied cars for position number 8, all tied drivers will be a part of the redraw. Shane Youngren, originally 5th in the starting lineup, and Dave Brune on the front row here. Take 2 to try and get lap number 1 complete. Shane Youngren, multi-time Northwest Dwarf Car Association champion, is in the lead. Dave Brune, though, will take over as an Uno reverse card being utilized heavily here between those 2 drivers. Shane Youngren says return to sender, and he goes back to the point. Kyle Thompson is 3rd, Bennett Gooch 4th, and Austin Quilty in the 6th in rounds up the running order in 5th. Shane Youngren, a 3rd row starter, is already at the point. We've got 2 down and 6 to go. Second place is in debate here between the 46 of Kyle Thompson and the 54 of Dave Brune. Dave Brune earlier was throwing down the Uno reverse cards, as Ashley Llewellyn would say, at Skagit Speedway. But it didn't work out for him at the end as Shane Youngren took the Marshall's baton and has been leading ever since. Dave Brune 2nd, but followed closely by Kyle Thompson. Austin Quilty moving up into 4th. Bennett Gooch is 5th. Shane Youngren trying to put the closing maneuvers here. He does have a little bit of a healthy lead, but Dave Brune trying to zero in on him. Final lap of action is coming up. One more trip around the speedway for the 18 of Shane Youngren. Well, it's not a three-peat of drivers starting 6 to win their heat race, but it will be a 4-peat. 4 for 4 for drivers coming from the 3rd row to be victorious in heat race competition. Shane Youngren, Dave Brune, Kyle Thompson, Austin Quilty will finish 4th. Bennett Gooch will be 5th. Danny Wagner 6th. Brian Quilty credited with 7th. As we've got one more heat race remaining, the 98.0 Aaron Morgenstern out of Roseburg, Home Insulation Services, First American Title, CA Mesa Plumbing. Special thanks to Stephen Morgenstern and Anthony Pope, as well as their mom, Vicky. That's Aaron Morgenstern. And the 5S, Travis Gergel out of Grants Pass, Iron Ore Barn Grill, Optimized Painting, LRC Dwarf Chassis. Starting 3rd, the 42.0 Dennis Tower of Rainier, and the Amsoil with Tony Cinnamon. 36 is Corey Esteban out of Gaston in the Lee's Performance, Photography by Barb, Race Cars Incorporated machine. Brendan McMaster of Roseburg in car number 8, Trixie's Creative Design, Ryan Parker's Trucking, Lowry Cutting, Double R Powder Coating. And the fastest qualifier in this group, Sean Whitney out of Lotus, California, in the Thompson's Auto Group, B&B Innovative Race Chassis, LAL Motorsports, Hangtown Sheet Metal, Clark Durham Custom Welding, the sponsorships for Sean Whitney. Southern Oregon represented well with Douglas County's Aaron Morgenstern and Josephine County's Travis Gergel. Heat race number 5 goes green. Aaron Morgenstern gets to the point. Dennis Tower looking to make a move on the inside of Travis Gergel for second, side by side with the 36 of Corey Esteban, as Gergel trying to overtake your race leader, Aaron Morgenstern. At the start-finish line, it'll be Aaron Morgenstern, the leader. Second is Travis Gergel, Corey Esteban third, Sean Whitney from 6th to 4th, but thirsty for more. Dennis Tower battling with Brendan McMaster for 5th in the running order. Aaron Morgenstern trying to hold on to the race lead, but lap number 2, we've got a second different leader. It's Corey Esteban in car number 36. Esteban, Morgenstern, Sean Whitney, 1, 2, and 3. Sean Whitney looking for the slip and slide move on the inside of Aaron Morgenstern for second. Not going to work in 3, but it'll work out of 4. And now Sean Whitney in his clutches the 36 of Corey Esteban. Side by side as they come off of the second corner. Whitney down low, drag race with Esteban into the back stretch and in turn 3. New race leader for lap number 4. It's going to be Sean Whitney from Lotus, California. Corey Esteban looking to answer back on the inside. Aaron Morgenstern is 3rd. Travis Gergel 4th. Brendan McMaster 5th. Dennis Tower is 6th. As Whitney trying to create some space here with the 36 of Esteban. 5 down and 3 to go as Aaron Morgenstern, equally exciting battle was happening there for 3rd as Travis Gergel was coming into the mix. 2 away from the drop of the checkered flag as Sean Whitney has been in control since lap number 4. One more trip around the park. And this would make it a perfect 5 for 5 for drivers winning from row number 3. Travis Gergel getting some pressure from Brendan McMaster. Looked like a wheel hop, and we've got to get together in turn 1. And we will not be seeing the checkered banner wave this time around, as the 8 of Brendan McMaster will get collected with the 5S of Travis Gergel. And we go yellow. Sean Whitney is the leader. Corey Esteban 2nd, Aaron Morgenstern 3rd, and Dennis Tower is the current running order. We'll see how everything gets situated behind that. Gergel and McMaster are able to restart. Single file nose to tail restart with 7 laps complete. GWC coming up as Jerry Van Sickle would say. Green, white, checkered. The green flag will be presented. They'll make another lap. White flag followed by the checkered. First of 2 heat races for the Interstate Sprint Car Series will be coming up next. Same story with their passing and finishing points on the table, as well as 8 laps in distance. Green flag. We're back underway. Sean Whitney. Once again, we'll see the white flag, and we'll see if the checkered banner will follow it this time on the second try. Corey Esteban remains in second, Aaron Morgenstern third. And Whitney getting a little out of shape in turns 3 and 4, but we'll hold on. Sean Whitney will win heat race number 5 for the Dwarf cars. Corey Esteban second, Aaron Morgenstern third, Travis Gergel fourth, fifth Dennis Tower, sixth Brendan McMaster. First of 2 heat races for the Interstate Sprint Car Series will grid up like this. Starting inside front row out of Deer Island, the Richmond Engines and Diesel, Beaverton Auto Parts, Owens Racing, BC Motorsports, Matt Stanford Racing, Triple X, TJ Richmond. Outside him, representing Stanwood, Washington, the Notellum Motorsports, CMB Painting, Kangan Tree Topper, Grinders Automotive and Marine, Latham Realty, Unlimited S&S Roofing, ART Chassis, car number 22J, Jessen Jacobson. Out of Monroe, Washington, the Clan Graham, Barry Civil Construction, D&G Backhoe, Hooper Construction, Premier Excavating, Triple X, Kira Zylstra. Kira Zylstra, the young lady in the 21Z, while the 21B to her outside, starting fourth. The Rogue Hills Excavating, Canopy Country, Hilton's Landscape Supplies, CP Racing, Granite Mafia, Southern Oregon Electric, Central Point Electric, CNC Tires, ABC Powder Coating, sponsored KPC out of Eagle Point, Johnny Burke. Johnny Burke in car number 21B starts fourth. Speaking of the number 4, that is the driver that will start fifth in this one, the Johnson Family Racing number 4 ART, the team out of Blaine, Washington, the racer out of Wannock, British Columbia, Canada, that is Luke Didiak. Luke Didiak, quickest qualifier here in this first heat race. Car number 32T out of Junction City, scheduled to start 6th, the Russell Towing. Special thanks to Tyson and Amanda Reyes. Double R Powder Coating, Forte Motorsports, Perlo Construction entry, that is Gary Treadway running a JEI chassis. And 78 is the teenager out of Klamath Falls, Bob's Excavating, Mockridge Engineering and Construction, Rupert Trucking, Back to Health Chiropractic, KPC, Ryan Hirschbach. That is your heat race lineup for heat number 1 and 2 for the Interstate Sprint Car Series. Oregon and Washington on the front row. Deer Island in the northwest part of the state near St. Helens, while Stanwood north of the Seattle metro area. TJ Richmond, Jessen Jacobson. First heat race is underway. Jessen Jacobson gets to the point in the 22J. It'll be Johnny Burke running in second. Luke Didiak is third. Fourth, Kira Zylstra. TJ Richmond running in position number 5. First of 2 heat races for the Interstate Sprint Car Series. We'll see a completion of lap number 1 on the successful side of things. Jessen Jacobson, half a straightaway ahead of Johnny Burke. Luke Didiak and the Johnson family racing. Normally Allison Johnson behind the wheel of car number 4. He runs P3. Kira Zylstra is 4th. TJ Richmond 5th. Jessen Jacobson in search of his second win at 2022. First time ever here for him at Coos Bay Speedway. Halfway home, 4 down, 4 to go. It's been all Jessen Jacobson since lap number 1. Trying to be a part of the top 8 to get into the redraw with a chance to start on the front row of tonight's 25-lap main event. Johnny Burke remains in second. Luke Didiak is third. 2 laps to go for Jessen Jacobson. White flag is out for the 22J as it looked like we might have been seeing a skirmish for fourth place, As we finish this one out, Jessen Jacobson out of Stanwood, Washington will win heat race number 1 for the Interstate Sprint Car Series. Johnny Burke will be second. Third, Luke Didiak. Kira Zylstra will hold on for 4th. And finishing in 5th is going to be TJ Richmond. Heat race number 2 of 2 for the ISCS Sprints. The American West Coast Construction, Carl's Towing, DK Systems, Trico Company, Skagit Valley Polaris, By Design Auto Group, Orca Finishings and Aluminum, Stedman Powder Coating, Rickner Trucking, Les Schwab Tire Center of Burlington, Napa Auto Parts of Burlington. Number 2, running a Shark Racing Engines powered XXX chassis out of Cedar Washington, Corey Swatsina. Outside him from right here in Coos Bay. He finished 5th at this race last year. The Wheelers Trailer Sales, Lester at John's Fabrication. Special thanks to Mom and Dad and Bill Wolfenstein. Running a XXX chassis, Austin Sauce. Third in the starting grid, the 26F out of Junction City. Perlo Construction, Second Chance Lawn and Home Care. Springer Performance Engines, Northwest Sign Company. John Freeman Trucking, Kelly's Barber Shop, Junction City Muffler Shop, Jersey's Bar, Junction City Electric, Astro Titanium Shop Equipment Incorporated, and Adrian's Auto Works, utilizing a XXX chassis. Shane Forte, 26F Shane Forte will start 3rd. Starting 4th, the 7-0 out of Cedar Woolley, Washington, the Fat Man Motors, DeCock Trucking, Anderson Power Wash, Les Schwab Tire Center of Cedar Woolley, running a XXX chassis. Axel Oudman. Axel Oudman starts P4. In the Bill Limley-owned 10G, the car out of Cedar Woolley, Washington, the racer from Central Washington city of Ellensburg, the Maverick Construction, Powers Performance, Mares and Foles, Matco Tools, Chris Performance Electrical, Gold Buckle Expresso, Central Welding Supply, JEI Chassis of Dana Glenn. In tonight's quick clocker for the second group, it is the 7 in, the car out of Grants Pass, the racer out of Central Point, the Cascade Metal Recycling, Cook Crane Corporation, Island Muffler and Brake, Jake's Truck and Equipment Repair, Norton and Sons Excavation, R&K Trucking, Linder Powder Coating, Gadget Construction, KPC, Roger Henderson, the car owner, the driver, Central Point's Jake Wheeler. 6 cars for 8 laps. Heat race number 2 for the Interstate Sprint Car Series is coming up next. Corey Swatsina from Cedar Woolley, Washington, located right next to the legendary Skagit Speedway, while Austin Sauce here from the southern Oregon coastal city of Coos Bay. That's your front row starters. Exiting turn number 4, final heat race for the Interstate Sprint Car Series goes green. Corey Swatsina goes to the point. Axel Loudman trying to overtake the 26F of Shane Forte for third place right off of the bat, but it's an equally exciting battle between those two as Dana Glenn in the 10G and the 7N of Jake Wheeler try and thread the needle behind them and move forward in the running order. Corey Swatsina leads. It's Austin Saw second. Shane Forte third. Axel Loudman running fourth. Jake Wheeler trying to work the top shelf of the racetrack is going to fall back to sixth as Dana Glenn goes to P4 in the 10G. Glenn really getting that left front in the infield berm. He manages to hold on to fourth and not get sideways, and now trying to hunt down the 26F of Shane Forte for third in the running order. 3 laps complete. 5 to go in a battle between the 7-0 of Axel Loudman and the 7N of Jake Wheeler. It's fifth place, which is being debated over right now, as Corey Swatsina has half a straightaway of an advantage over Austin Sauce. Shane Forte is third, Dana Glenn fourth, Axel Loudman fifth, and Jake Wheeler sixth. As we're halfway home, 4 down, 4 to go. It'll be 3 laps around the racetrack. This time by is Corey Swatsina, still at the point. Dana Glenn trying to send it in the inside of Shane Forte to overtake, is up to fifth as Jake Wheeler in the 7N. He's gotten around Axel Loudman. Corey Swatsina about to see the white flag as Dana Glenn trying any route possible to move into third. That battle for third may make things interesting as Jake Wheeler quickly approaching the rear tail tanks of both Forte and Glenn. Running out of time, though, as Corey Swatsina has accepted the white flag. One more trip around the speedway for Corey Swatsina as he comes down to hit the finish line. Corey Swatsina will win it. Austin Sauce finishes second. Third will be Shane Forte. Dana Glenn finishes in fourth. Fifth will be Jake Wheeler. And sixth, Axel Loudman. So it's a couple of Northwest Washington drivers taking the heat race wins. Corey Swatsina out of Cedar Woolley, Washington will be your winner of heat race number 2 for the Interstate Sprint Car Series. First of 2B mains, 12 laps the distance with the top 2 moving on. Everyone else will have to try again tomorrow. Winner of this race will start 17th. Second place will start 19th in the main event. Out of Martinez, California, the A&J hauling number 22 Double D, that's Travis Dutra. Scheduled to start outside pole from Anderson, California. Big Valley Sanitation is the primary sponsor for the 38 of Bennett Gooch. Lining up third, the 5S, Travis Gergel from Grants Pass and the Iron Ore Barn Grill. Fourth will be the 4S, Carson Hood from Klamath Falls and the Howard's Racing entry. P5, the 42-0 of Dennis Tower from Rainier and the Amsoil with Tony Cinnamon sponsored car. Trevor Coates from Springfield starts 6th. 53-0 of Rob Glennie, from Redmond in his Deschutes Gourmet Mushrooms car will start in 7th. Starting in 8th, RC11 in the TBT cutting machine from Roseburg, and Brian Quilty out of Orangeville, California. Price Mechanical Contractors sponsored machine starts 9th. It does sound like we do have a scratch, and it is the 38 of Bennett Gooch. So 8 cars, 12 laps with the top 2 moving on. East Bay area of California going up against South Central Oregon. Here on the front row, Martinez, California, and Klamath Falls. Green flag. Here we go. Travis Dutra to the front. Good battle for second here. The 4S. This is for the final transfer position. The 4S of Carson Hood and the 5S of Travis Gergel. RC11 running in fourth. Dennis Tower into the infield in the 42-0. Right now, no yellow. We have one lap officially complete, and Dennis Tower not able to get it started in time. Yellow flag coming out. So 1 down, 11 to go here for B1. Single file nose to tail restart. Travis Dutra, the pace setter for lap number 1. Carson Hood able to hold on to second after a spirited battle with Travis Gergel. Gergel is third. RC11 will restart fourth. Fifth is Trevor Coates. Sixth, Brian Quilty. Seventh is the 53-0 of Rob Glennie. And then you've got Dennis Tower. All cars are on the lead lap. So we get back to green flag action. 11 laps still to go. Travis Dutra gets us back underway. Carson Hood trying to get himself off of the bubble and overtake Travis Dutra for the race lead. But Travis Dutra says, "Un moment, s'il vous plaît," as he's in control. Travis Gergel trying to chip away at the distance between himself and second place Carson Hood, and again rolls up beside him, but not quite able to make the necessary pass. He's got problems of his own, though, as RC11 will move underneath him into third place, and RC11 is not done. RC11 looking for second. That's the final transfer spot that is on the line, and RC11 has got it. Carson Hood is third. Travis Gergel is fourth. Fifth is Dennis Tower. Brian Quilty is sixth. Seventh is the 99 of Trevor Coates. And then Rob Glennie rounding up the rest of the running order. Carson Hood and Travis Gergel fight for third place. It's going to be Gergel up into third. Your top two runners, fastest drivers on the racetrack. In fact, RC11 went purple for lap number 5, just after the same thing happened with the 22D of Travis Dutra. 6 down and 6 to go, halfway home for Travis Dutra. Trevor Coates sideways in turn 4, spins but keeps it going. RC11 second, Travis Gergel outside looking in by just one position. Your race leader, Travis Dutra, spins, and he's going to cycle back to third, and that'll put Travis Gergel in the show. RC11 takes the reins and is the new pace setter. Carson Hood is fourth. Dennis Tower rounding up the top 5, closely pursued by Brian Quilty. Brian Quilty, the inside of Dennis Tower, as Trevor Coates in car number 99 starting to be seen by your race leader, RC11. Still about a straightaway separating those two drivers. Time running out for Travis Dutra for making up lost territory and getting back into the big dance. One more trip around the park for the 71R of RC11 out of Roseburg. Brian Quilty out. Gets sideways, keeps it going, remains in 6th. And checkered flag will fly. It'll be RC11 winning it. Travis Gergel holds on to finish in 2nd. 3rd will be Travis Dutra. 4th, Carson Hood. Dennis Tower 5th. 6th, Brian Quilty. 7th, Rob Glennie. 8th, is going to be Trevor Coates. And just like that, B number 1 is done. B2 is coming up next. '22S of Jim Ritchie from Charlestown in the Kinney's Gifts and Shells. Entry will start inside pole. Keep it on the 11 Double D. Bay Point, California's Danny Wagner in the A&J Hauling entry. Starting third, Brennan McMaster in the Trixie's Creative Design number 8 from Roseburg. Fourth will be the 6 in. That's Austin Quilty out of Carmichael, California. Price Mechanical Contractors Machine. 54S, fifth in the grid out of Cave Junction. The Lawrence Construction entry of Bud Lawrence. Sixth in the starting lineup, the 09S, Caden Smith out of Medford in the local IB EW659. Seventh will be the 9S of Josh King in the Teddy Bear Racing car. You've got Ellie Russo in the 31 Double D scheduled to start in 8th. She's out of Bay Point, California in the A&J Hauling Machine. And out of Cresswell, the 0W1, that's Chris Wright out of Cresswell in the Wright Shop Collision Center. Green is out as we've got a little bit of a traffic jam on the front straightaway. Danny Wagner in the 11D, former Western States Dwarf Car champion back in 2017, is at the point, and oh no, Caden Smith is going to get together with Austin Quilty in turns 3 and 4, and we go yellow, and I don't think we got a lap complete. So Jim Ritchie and the 11 Double D of Danny Wagner is scheduled to be your front row still, 0 laps complete. Wagner was quickest in Group 4, but that was the heat race in which there was a big get-together on the opening start and resulted in the 11 Double D, and I didn't see what happened if he was a part of that or what, but he had to retire early, and that's why he's here in the B main. And just getting word from the kitchen, deep-fried Milky Ways are going to be hot and ready here very soon, so be sure and partake in that. What sounds like a very tasty item here at Coos Bay Speedway. So, Jim Ritchie, Danny Wagner, take 2. And on the initial start, there were some drivers that didn't quite go as fast as they probably wanted to, so we'll see how this second time around works out. Danny Wagner gets to the front as Brendan McMaster on the inside of Jim Ritchie to make it 3 wide. Ellie Russo briefly in the 31 Double D. The 9S of Josh King gets around both Russo as well as Ritchie. Josh King, one of the most decorated drivers in the state of Oregon the last few years, is just trying to make a B main, showing you how tough the competition is here for the week of speed. Trouble for Lawrence and Wright in the 54S and the 01W. They spin in turns 1 and 2. Bud Lawrence and Chris Wright. A little bit of a synchronized spin there in corners 1 and 2. This time, 1 lap will be recorded for the good. After this one, we have the Hornet main event. That's going to be going for 20 laps. Then the Three Rivers Casino Street Stock feature, 20 laps. 25 laps for the A-Main for the Dwarf cars. 25-lap A-Main for the Interstate Sprint Car Series. Danny Wagner out of turn number 4. Single file nose to tail, here we go. Brendan McMaster, the second and final transfer spot. While Josh King, the veteran in the number 9, is P3 in the running order and currently outside looking in. Ellie Russo 4th, while Caden Smith is 5th. Brendan McMaster closing in on your race leader, Danny Wagner. Wagner holding on as they look to complete lap number 3, this time by Danny Wagner, Brendan McMaster, Josh King, Ellie Russo, Caden Smith sideways in the second turn. Everyone manages to miss. Great evasive action. He keeps it going, but the yellow flag coming out once more in this one. Your top 5, pretty much the same. Danny Wagner, Brendan McMaster, Josh King, Ellie Russo, and then Austin Quilty now in car number 6 in, cracking into the top 5 as we've got 9 to go, 9 laps remaining in this one. Ellie Russo turning the heat up on Josh King. Russo on the 31 to the inside. Now King really going to have to make up some ground here if he wants to make the main event tonight. Winner of this one will start 18th, 20th to the driver that finishes second and receives tonight's close shave award. Jim Ritchie will spin in turn 4. No yellow quite yet. Ritchie not able to fire the 22S back up. We've got Josh King sideways separately in turn 2, but the initial yellow for the 22S in turn 4. Jim Ritchie from Charleston. Not quite to the halfway mark. 5 laps complete, 7 to go. Danny Wagner has been the leader the whole entire time. Brendan McMaster is second. Ellie Russo third, Josh King fourth. Then Austin Quilty, followed by Chris Wright, Caden Smith, and Bud Lawrence. See if Jim Ritchie can restart here in car number 22S. Tomorrow night and Wednesday night, Cottage Grove Speedway for legs 2 and 3 of the week of speed for the ISCS and Dwarf cars. Thursday, Sunset Speedway Park in Banks. Final race in the state of Oregon as the tour will traverse the Columbia River into Washington to close things out at Grays Harbor Raceway in Elmo on Friday and Saturday night. And you can watch all the live lap-to-lap coverage on Dirt Oval TV. 7 o'clock start times is till Grays Harbor Raceway. So the Oregon race is 7 o'clock start times. If you can't make it live in person, check it all out on Dirt Oval TV. By the way, top 5 of last year's race, Anthony Pope, the defending race winner and defending Speed Week champion. Danny Wagner, who leads this race, was second in the main event last year. Chris Kress, third. Devin LaHorgue and Jimmy Brinster, the top 5. Jimmy Brinster won the first ever Speed Week race for the Dwarf cars back on August 13th, 2018. Darren Brown, 2019. And with the exception of 2018, the driver that has won this race has won the Week of Speed title. 2018 was Anthony Pope getting the overall title, while Jimmy Brinster would win the opening leg. Well, Jim Ritchie is out of turn 4. We are 7 laps away from the conclusion of this race. It's California, Oregon, and California, your top 5. Brendan McMaster from Roseburg in neighboring Douglas County. Josh King from Central Point, just out of Medford. And Orangevale, California, just east of the Modesto area of California's Central Valley. Out of turn number 4. Green is out. Here we go. Great run here for your top 2 as Josh King is third. Trying to find some magic here in the second half of this race. Brendan McMaster, the runner-up. He's got the final ticket like Willy Wonka in the chocolate factory. He's trying to get into the door. But somebody's trying to snatch it away, and it's Josh King. Right now, Josh King will outpace Brendan McMaster into turn 3. And that is how many laps we have to go in this one. Danny Wagner, Josh King, Brendan McMaster sideways, Ellie Russo and Brendan McMaster will get together. Everyone else will successfully miss despite having to go in all sorts of different directions. And we have 9 down, 3 to go. Danny Wagner leads. Josh King is second. And if this is correct, third is Caden Smith. Austin Quilty fourth. Chris Wright is fifth. Then it's Bud Lawrence, followed by Brendan McMaster, Jim Ritchie, and Ellie Russo looks like not going to be returning to this one. Ellie Russo, 2021 Western States Dwarf Car Association Sportsman Champion. Unfortunately, getting on the hook and a tough break for her. Hopefully, it's been actually a rough night for the 31 Double D while running towards the front in her heat race. Had a wheel and tire detach. Hopefully the luck will turn around. Hope to see her tomorrow night at Cottage Grove. So it's Danny Wagner, Josh King, first and second here. All cars on the lead lap with 3 laps remaining. Green flag, we're underway. Brenda McMaster, who was running in third place at the completion of the last lap, trying to swiftly get back towards the front, is Caden Smith in the 09S, trying to get around the 9S of Josh King. That is for second. It's the final transfer spot that's on the line. One more lap to figure things out. Josh King second. Third is Caden Smith. How will things finish? Your B2 winner will be Danny Wagner in the 11 Double D. 9S of Josh King second. Third, Caden Smith. Austin Quilty will finish in fourth. Fifth, the 8 of Brenda McMaster. Sixth, Chris Wright. Seventh, Bud Lawrence. Eighth will be Jim Ritchie. And ninth, Ellie Russo. And just like that, all prelim action has wrapped up and concluded. Dwarf Car A main will be coming up later in the program, and starting 18th in the feature will be Danny Wagner, 20th, Josh King. 20-lap Hornet main is next. We'll introduce that starting lineup here in just a few moments. All right, your lineup for your Dwarf Car feature. 25 laps is how far they will travel. It's going to be Camden Robustelli in the Triple R Motorsports, number 25S out of Medford, starting inside front row. Outside of him from Lotus, California, Sean Whitney in the Thompson's Auto Group, 15 in. 040 Bryson Smith out of Portland in the Point S Tires machine, while Tanner Kerr, representing Albany in the 43-0, Abbas Well Drilling, his primary sponsor, starts fourth. Fifth will be Corey Esteban out of Gaston in the Lee's Performance, number 36. While starting sixth will be the 01 Chris Kress in the Waldron's Outdoor Sports Machine from Roseburg. Starting seventh, representing Tigard, it's the 18 Shane Youngren in the Maverick Racing Supply entry. Starting eighth, the Maverick Chassis 88-0, John Chrisman out of Hillsboro. Fifth row inside, Colby Bergquist. The 55S out of Central Point, Pelican Bay Athletic Association entry. And then the 5 of Danny Altum from Lebanon in the Wright Shop Collision Center. Devin LaHorgue in the 51S out of Grants Pass will start 11th. 12th will be Kyle Thompson in car number 46. The Landshaper Grading and Brush Mowing entry. You got the 54-0 Dave Brune out of Boring in the local 689 Sprinkler Fitters entry. The 812 Double D out of Antioch, California. That is Chance Russell in the Galaxy Stainless entry. 21. Starting in 15th place, Adam Walker out of Mount Angel, Walker Concrete. Then the 98-0 Aaron Morgenstern. She is out of Roseburg in the Home Insulation Services. 71 RC11, your B main number 1 winner, starts 17th, 18th, the 11 Double D. Danny Wagner out of Bay Point, California. 5S Travis Gergel out of Grants Pass, and the 9S out of Central Point, Josh King. Coos Bay Speedway, and for all those watching on Dirt Oval TV, make some noise for your Dwarf Car main event about to get let loose here for 25 laps, exiting corner number 4 next time by. Oregon, and California. Front row, here we go. Camden Robustelli, Sean Whitney, green in the air. Sean Whitney trying to go around the outside of Camden Robustelli here on this first lap of 25 for round number 1 of the weakest speed for the Dwarf cars. Sean Whitney successfully navigates the 15 into the Point Lotus Californias. Sean Whitney going to have to settle for second as the 25S of Camden Robustelli motors his way down. Robustelli, the defending sprint car champion of the weakest speed, goes to P1. Sean Whitney second, Tanner Kerr third, and it's a battle for fourth between the 040 and the 01 of Chris Kress as we've got Calamity out braking in turns 3 and 4. Multi-car wreck, 71R RC11, 5S of Travis Gergel, 88O John Chrisman, 5 of Danny Altum, and the 54O of Dave Brune, all collected. Everyone but Brune able to rejoin. One lap complete, 24 to go. Your race leader, Camden Robustelli. Looked like Sean Whitney was in the clear to set the pace for the first lap, and then Robustelli just got a lunge off of the fourth corner. He won this race here last year in the sprint cars. Camden Robustelli for car owner TJ Winningham, also the defending ISCS Series champion. Robustelli, though, just running the Dwarf car and looking to get the job done and pick up the victory here tonight and become the 4th different winner in 4 years. And actually, no former winners of this race is here tonight, so it will be that statistic no matter what. And that's the same case for the Interstate Sprint Car Series. Tyler Thompson winning the first race in 2018, Tanner Holmes 2019, and Camden Robustelli 2021. There'll be a new different winner in that division when they roll out next. On the hook, Dave Brune, unfortunately, early in for him. The racer out of Boring, just outside the Portland-Gresham area, east of the Portland Metro. Camden Robustelli, Sean Whitney, Tanner Kerr running 1, 2, and 3. Bryson Smith is 4th. Chris Kress 5th. Then you've got Corey Esteban 6th. Shane Youngren is 7th. 8th, Devin LaHorgue. 9th, Kyle Thompson. 10th, Adam Walker. RC 11 is 11th. Started 18th. He's already up to 12th. Is Danny Wagner. So those are your 2 B-main winners. 11th and 12th after starting 17th and 18th with just 1 lap down. Behind Wagner in 13th is Chance Russell, the 812 Double D. Colby Bergquist, 55S, 9S of Josh King. little bit of a correction in your top 10 running order. It's actually Colby Bergquist running in P8. LaHorga's 9th, 10th is Kyle Thompson. And Adam Walker, RC11. Danny Wagner, 13th. So apologies to fans there. 14th is Chance Russell. Josh King, 15th. Aaron Morgenstern, Travis Gergel, John Chrisman, and Danny Altum. All cars on the lead lap. Single file, nose to tail restart. 19 to go. Camden Robustelli looking to start the week off with a victory here this evening in Coos Bay. Out at turn 4. Green is out. Sean Whitney going to try his luck on the... Oh, no, trouble. Bryson Smith sideways in turn 2, and we're going to go immediately back under caution. The winner of the prelim of the Cottage Grove Speedway Dwarf Car Nationals with the Western States Dwarf Car Association in the Sportsman Division, Bryson Smith. So that is going to change up the top 5 just a bit. He was running in 5th in the completion of the last circuit, if I'm not mistaken. And so that'll put the 36 of Corey Esteban up into P5. We'll have another attempt to try and get our second lap completed in the books. Camden Robustelli going to get on the hammer when they exit turn 4 this time by. Still a lot of distance left to cover it with, perhaps for the first time for these dwarf cars, heavy lap traffic that they will see. Green is out. Here we go. Sean Whitney again fully sends it up top as he tries to build the momentum. It's going to allow the 43-0 Tanner Kerr to get down the bottom. Whitney trying to close the door down into turn 3. Tanner Kerr not going away anytime soon. It's Tanner Kerr up to second. Yellow is out again, and I think that's the 71R of RC11, and looks like Travis Gergel was a part of it in the 5S. And caution number 3 with still 1 lap down. Your B1 winner, RC11, coming to a halt. He's still at a halt. 46 of Kyle Thompson off of the racetrack, and he bypasses the work area, and he's taking it back to the trailer. And I think he was in the neighborhood of in the top 10. RC11 was scored 16th. He's going to be put on the hook. So this one a little bit of a stop and go. Camden Robustelli leading Sean Whitney, Tanner Kerr, Chris Kress, and Corey Esteban. Light's going to be going down here shortly as Camden Robustelli is the engine pulling the train. Sean Whitney, Tanner Kerr, Chris Kress, Corey Esteban, that's the top 5. Shane Youngren is 6th. 7th, Colby Bergquist. 8th is Devin LaHorgue, who was 3rd in this main event last year. Pardon me, 4th in the main event last year. The driver that was 3rd is currently running in 4th. That's Chris Kress. Danny Wagner, the runner-up, is 10th, as Adam Walker ahead of him is 9th. Chance Russell, Josh King, Aaron Morgenstern, John Chrisman, Danny Altum, Bryson Smith, Travis Gergel, RC Levin. A little bit of a stack up as they go into turn 3, but nonetheless, we're going to get this one back underway. Chris Kress looking to the inside of Tanner Kerr. Not quite able to make it side by side for P3. And Shane Youngren almost got upside down. And the 18 briefly saw the bottom of the 18, as that's our 4th stoppage. Youngren thankfully able to keep going, but no doubt a scary moment. And Shane Youngren had a pretty detrimental wreck at Grays Harbor Raceway earlier this year, which sidelined him for some time. All right, now there is a 25-minute time limit here on this feature, and we're already north of 13 minutes. We're in the 14th minute, and they've got 24 laps to go. Camden Robustelli, Sean Whitney, Tanner Kerr, Chris Kress, and Colby Esteban, the top 5. A little bit of an adjustment, as it sounds like a cone violation from the 88-0 of John Chrisman, and so the 5 of Danny Altum and the 040 of Bryson Smith will be allowed to overtake. It goes down to the single file, nose to tail restart cone rules and regulations of no overtakes when they're coming to the green. Before they pass the cone, can't hit the cone or pass underneath the cone. Looking for lap number 2 to get done. Here we go. Tanner Kerr in the 43, trying to make some quick work of Sean Whitney in the 15N. Well, it took us several opportunities, but lap number 2 officially can be recorded complete. Colby Bergquist on the 55S was trying to get on the inside of the 36 of Corey Esteban. Devin LaHorgue remains in 7th. 8th now is the 11 Double D of Danny Wagner. Chris Kress trying to shoot underneath Tanner Kerr to move into 3rd. As Wagner started this race in position number 18, he's already plus 10. Hashtag Stephanie Strong here in this main event. LaHorgue and Bergquist about to do battle for 6th, as it's Bergquist in the blue, orange, and yellow 55S trying to keep in check the all-white 51S of Devin LaHorgue. The 11 Double D of Danny Wagner behind both of them. Camden Robustelli leading, coming up on the 5S of Travis Gergel to put a lap down. Sean Whitney is 2nd. looking to complete lap number 7 this time by as they're on a good green flag run. Chris Kress finally in the third as he made the pass around Tanner Kerr a couple laps ago. Corey Esteban 5th. Up in the 6th, it's Danny Wagner with the double overtake around Devin LaHorgue, and trouble in turns 3 and 4. We go yellow again. Did the double overtake on Devin LaHorgue and Colby Bergquist. Keep an eye on the all-yellow 11 double D of Danny Wagner. 5th stoppage of the race. We've got 7 down, 18 scheduled to go. In quick correction, Colby Bergquist actually 6th. Danny Wagner is P7. Nothing has changed among the top 5 since lap number 1. So Colby Bergquist 6th. 7th is Danny Wagner. 8th, Devin LaHorgue. 9th, Adam Walker. 10th is Josh King. Now, Josh King was the Close Shave Award winner. Started 20th. He's plus 10. While plus 11 is Wagner. Danny Altum will restart in 11th. 12th is Chance Russell. 13th, Aaron Morgenstern, Bryson Smith, John Chrisman, RC Levin, Shane Youngren, and Travis Gergel. It's the rest of the restart order. 18 scheduled to go. And we're approaching the 19th minute. Green flag. Another brilliant restart from Camden Robustelli. He's had no issues while being out in front. Sean Whitney 2nd, Chris Kress 3rd. This is the position he finished in at this race last year. Tanner Kerr 4th, Corey Esteban remains in 5th. Danny Wagner, last year's runner-up, is 6th, but he's on the doorstep of a top 5 run, and he may have a rhythm to put together here to climb even further in the running order. Nearly banging wheels with Corey Esteban for P5. Danny Wagner charging forward still. Bergquist is 7th, 8th LaHorgue, 9th is Walker, 10th is still Josh King. And it's going to be Chris Kress moving up into 2nd as he gets underneath Sean Whitney, 4th position. We're 10 laps into this one. And 15 scheduled to go. Danny Wagner gets a great launch off of the 2nd corner. Tries to move on the inside of Tanner Kerr. That is for 4th place. And he may have something here for your 3rd place runner right now, Sean Whitney. Danny Wagner, winner of B2, started in 20th. He's already made up, started in 18th, already made up 14 positions, and he's not done anytime soon. As somebody falling out of line, it's Corey Esteban in the 36th. Slowed down briefly, and he is going to get shuffled back in a hurry. Sean Whitney trying to stay in front of the 11 double D of Danny Wagner. In front of both of them is the 0-1 of Chris Kress. Tanner Kerr 5th, Colby Bergquist 6th, Adam Walker is 7th, 9th, Josh King, 10th is Devin LaHorgue in the 51S. Side-by-side seesaw battle. As we're officially past the halfway mark, it's going to be 14 down, 11 to go. Yellow will wave, and we've got several cars together in turn 4. Not sure what the origin of that was, but you got the 9S of Josh King, 040, that is Bryson Smith, and 2 other individuals involved. Adam Walker, one of the other drivers, caught up in the mix. Walker able to drive off. Bryson Smith and Chance Russell in the 812 Double D also caught up. Stoppage number 6 comes with 14 laps complete and 11 to go scheduled. And I stress the word scheduled as Bryson Smith pulls off the track. Camden Robustelli is your leader. Chris Kress second. Third is Sean Whitney. From 18th to 4th is Danny Wagner. Correction, Danny Wagner scored third. Then it's Sean Whitney fourth. Fifth is Tanner Kerr. As we actually have 13 laps complete, 12 to go. So we're just past the halfway mark. Colby Bergquist is 6th. And Devin Lahore being placed 7th. Chance Russell on the hook, a heartbreaker for the driver from Antioch, California, from the Delta region. Delta East Bay region, home of Antioch Speedway. The Delta East Bay region of California. Right next to Walnut Creek and Concord. Martinez and Bay Point all in that area, as well as Brentwood to the east. Rio Vista and Discovery Bay also not in the too far distance. $13 down, 12 to go. Camden Robustelli. See if he can put the finishing touches on this one. Outside of the top 5, Bergquist is 6th, 7th is Lahore, Danny Altum 8th, John Chrisman 9th, Corey Esteban is 10th, and it's Aaron Morgenstern. Followed by RC Levin, Shane Youngren, Travis Gergel, Josh King, and Adam Walker. All cars on the racetrack are on the lead lap. Green flag, here we go. Colby Bergquist trying to negotiate the 43-0 of Tanner Kerr as the 11 Double D of Danny Wagner trying to keep up with the 01 of Chris Kress, who's trying to keep up with the 25S of Camden Robustelli. Devin Lahore off the pace, and car number 51S, he's off of the track. Danny Altum, John Chrisman, oh no, collision. John Chrisman and Corey Esteban get together. Travis Gergel spins to miss but keeps going. And that was a battle for 8th place, I believe. And we will see our seventh stoppage of this race with 14 down and 11 scheduled to go. So on that restart, Camden Robustelli, as he's been able to do all night long, which is been the key here of keeping his 25S mount in front of the rest of the field. He's been the leader since lap 1. He's been keeping that theme going. He's been good on restarts. He's been good on some of the green flag runs. There's been a 7-lap green flag run from caution 5 to caution 6. And then a 6-lap run from caution 4 to caution 5. So, getting word from race officials, this one being reduced to 20 laps in distance, so it's 14 down, 6 to go. And if there's an additional yellow or, heaven forbid, red flag incident, it'll be a green-white checkered finish. Camden Robustelli, Chris Kress, Danny Wagner, Sean Whitney, Tanner Kerr, the top 5. Colby Bergquist is 6th, 7th. Danny Altum, 8th is RC11, 9th. Aaron Morgenstern, 10th. Shane Youngren, 11th is Josh King, 12th. Adam Walker, 13th. Travis Gergel. All cars are on the lead lap. We've not had any lap traffic come in the mix. Devin LaHorgue on the racetrack, and he may be a lap down. He pulled off. And correction, Devin LaHorgue is on the lead lap. Well, Corey Esteban was on the hook, but it looks like he's not done fighting yet, or he's at least able to go around the racetrack under his own power, but he's going to retire into the pit area. Esteban pulling it in towards where the trailer's parked. Don't forget, after the final race of the night, the pits are open. If you're live here in person at Coos Speedway, you can get up close with these drivers, get autographs. Several of them have apparel for sale and hero cards to hand out. 6 laps scheduled to go. Camden Robustelli on the gas. Green flag. Sean Whitney battling with Tanner Kerr. Kerr in the blue 43-0 around the top shelf as Chris Kress trying to stay as close to the rear bumper of Camden Robustelli, your leader. Danny Wagner in the 11 Double D is 3rd, trying to make it a 3-car breakaway from the rest of the pack. Tanner Kerr, Sean Whitney, undecided exactly who possesses 4th as Danny Wagner gets a good run on Chris Kress. This is 2nd place that's up for grabs with 4 laps scheduled to go. Tanner Kerr looks like he may have an advantage up on the top of the racetrack, but he's not able to capitalize as Sean Whitney has 4th. Colby Bergquist, Danny Altum, RC11, Josh King, and Aaron Morgenstern, the top 10. Camden Robustelli still leads despite Chris Kress, and Danny Wagner not too far behind him. Yellow is out. Shane Youngren and Travis Gergel get together. Adam Walker will spin to miss. And we will see stoppage number 8. And 17 down, 3 to go. And I believe we're going to be having a GWC coming up here. We'll double check with race officials. That sounds like the language that was being used. And Adam Walker going to be put on the hook, and that'll bring us under a brief delay. 25-lap Interstate Sprint Car Series main event. Is next. Your top 5 is still the same players. Camden Robustelli, Chris Kress, Danny Wagner, Sean Whitney, and Tanner Kerr. Colby Bergquist still 6th. 7th is Danny Altum. RC11 restarts 8th. 9th is car number 9S, Josh King, and 10th is Aaron Morgenstern. 11th and 12th is Shane Youngren and Devin Lahorg. And Travis Gergel has hit the limit of being involved in cautions. And he's going to have to retire early, unfortunately. Try things again tomorrow at Cottage Grove. All drivers on the racing surface are on the lead lap. All 12 of them. Green, white, checkered. So it'll be green, white, then checkered. That's how that works. Camden Robustelli looking for his first career Dwarf Car Speed Week win. It would be his second of his career as he won the Sprint Car feature last year. See what the Medford motorists can do as they exit turn 4. Green is out. Danny Wagner in the 11D trying to run on through the middle of the racetrack and get around Chris Kress to move into second. As Robustelli will be the first one to see the white. One more trip around the speedway. Here comes Chris Kress with a great exit out of turn number 4. Final opportunity for Camden Robustelli to hold on or Chris Kress to win it. Final toss of the dice coming up. Robustelli's got a great advantage going into 3, exiting turn number 4. He's got a cushion to lean on. Camden Robustelli wins it. Chris Kress will finish in second. Danny Wagner third. Fourth is going to be Sean Whitney, followed by Tanner Kerr, Danny Altum, Colby Bergquist, RC11, Aaron Morgenstern, Shane Youngren, Devin Lahorg, and Josh King, the unofficial finishing order. And we'll try and have an official finish for that here in a little bit as we've got to roll into our next main event. It is the Interstate Sprint Car Series, and it grids up like this. 13 cars for 25 laps, starting on the inside front row position from Cedarwoolley, Washington. The American West Coast Construction, Carl's Towing, DK Systems number 2, Shark Racing engine-powered triple exit, Corey Swatsina. Outside of him, Roger Henderson, the car owner. The team is out of Grants Pass, the racer from Central Point in the Cascade Metal Recycling, Cook Crane Corporation, Island Muffler and Brake Entry. That is Jake Wheeler, running a KPC chassis, by the way. The 10G, Bill Limley is the car owner. The team out of Cedarwoolley, Washington. The racer out of Ellensburg. The Maverick Construction, Powers Performance, Mares and Foals, JEI chassis of Dana Glenn. Lining up fourth, the cars out of Blaine, Washington. The racer from Wannock, British Columbia, Canada. And the Johnson Family Racing sponsored number 4 ART, starting in position number 4, Luke Didiak. Starting fifth, 26F out of Junction City. The Perlo Construction, Second Chance Lawn and Home Care, Springer Performance Engines, Triple X chassis driven by Shane Forte. Starting sixth, the young man out of Stanwood, Washington, in the Notella Motorsports, C&B Painting, Kangan Tree Topper ART of Jessen Jacobson. Lining up seventh, the 21B out of Eagle Point, sponsored by Rogue Hills Excavating, Canopy Country, Hilton's Landscape Supplies, running a KPC chassis, Johnny Burke. The 07 of Austin Sauce from Coos Bay is 8th in the grid. The Wheelless Trailer Sales, John's Fabrication. Special thanks, Mom and Dad, running a XXX chassis. He starts 8th, starting 9th. The young lady out of Monroe, Washington, in her Clan Graham. Barry Civil Construction, D&G Backhoe, 21Z XXX chassis of Kira Zylstra. Starting 10th, the 7-0, representing Cedar-Woolley, Washington, the Fat Man Motors, DeCock Trucking, Anderson Power Wash. It's a XXX chassis, Axel Audman. 9th in the grid, the 34, out of Deer Island in the Richmond Engines and Diesel, Beaverton Auto Parts, Owens Racing, XXX, TJ Richmond. Starting 12th, the 32T, scheduled to start there is Junction City's Gary Treadway and the Russell Towing. Double R Powder Coating, Forte Motorsports JEI chassis, and 13th, 7th row, all by himself from Klamath Falls, the Bob's Excavating, Mock Ridge Engineering and Construction, Rupert Trucking KPC of Ryan Hirschbach. 13 cars scheduled to make the start. 25 laps is the distance they will travel. Night number 1 of 6 of the ISCS Week of Speed. Main event is about to start next. Just about set to get this one underway. Coos Bay Speedway, make some noise for your feature of the night, the Interstate Sprint Car Series, round number 1 of the Week of Speed 2022, about to get started. Whether you're watching here live in person or all around the world live on Dirt Oval TV, you know what time it is, Coos Bay, Oregon, and it's time to batten down the hatches quickly, lock the doors. Washington and Oregon on the front row. Corey Swatsina, Jake Wheeler, front row. Here we go, pitter patter, let's get at her. Jake Wheeler on the high side. He's able to get out in front of Corey Swatsina to move in the top spot. Oh no, Dana Glenn upside down, red flag. Red flag comes out, Dana Glenn and Corey Swatsina getting together. An additional car getting upside down in turn number 1. Safety crews straight to the scene. See if we got a replay on Dirt Oval TV. Dana Glenn going to the inside of Corey Swatsina, just battling for second. And right rear goes over to the left front. Glenn's right rear going over Swatsina. Johnny Burke is the other driver involved, and getting word that both drivers are reporting they're okay. That's good news. What a terrible way to start their weeks, though. And Johnny Burke, right rear, going over the left front of Shane Forte in the 26F. Well, that's not how we wanted this one to start. So 0 laps complete restart going to be coming up here in just a few short moments. And we hope that it's going to be Corey Swatsina and Jake Wheeler still on the front row. Corey Swatsina, the 2014 Skagit Speedway Sportsman Sprint Track Champion. Jake Wheeler, former track champion here at Coos Bay, as well as the 2-time defending track champion at Southern Oregon Speedway. Jake Wheeler has 6 main event wins to his credit, 3 at Southern Oregon, 2 at Willamette Speedway in Lebanon, and 1 at Grays Harbor Raceway in Elma, Washington. He's only got 9 starts, but he's won 6 times, 7 podiums, 8 top 5s, and he's been a perfect 9 for 9 in the top 10 category. In a 16th place finish against the NARC 410s at Southern Oregon Speedway in May. 2.44 is his average finish in this limited / sportsman sprint category of competition this year. Partnering up with legendary car owner Roger Henderson. We'll clean up the wreckage, get everybody shoved off, and this is not looking promising for the 2 of Corey Swatsina as they push him off of the racetrack. And we're going to have a completely different configuration of drivers starting up front when we get back to green flag action. That's coming up next here in just a little bit. Night number 1 of the Week of Speed. 2017, the winner here was Tyler Thompson. 2018, Tanner Holmes. 2018, pardon me, Tyler Thompson. 2019, Tanner Holmes. Camden Robustelli, the defending race winner, winning it last year. Brett McGuy, Tyler Thompson, Steven Snotter, and Austin Sauce. Sauce, the only driver in the field here tonight. He finished 5th at this race last year. And with this reconfiguration, he's going to be getting closer towards the top 5 when we get back to green flag racing. All right, we got a red flag special, $2 off beer, $2 off Pepsi. Yep. I think last time I was here I said $2 beers, $2 Pepsi. That's not the case. So if you're here live in attendance, $2 off while the red flag conditions, while the red light is still on. $2 off beer, $2 off Pepsi while the red flag is still in effect. All right, the red light has been replaced by the yellow one. So new front row configuration, the 7 in of Jake Wheeler is going to be paired up with the 4 of Luke Didiak. Luke Didiak racing in the sprint car that's normally piloted by Allison Johnson. Allison Johnson getting the big ladies' night win at Skagit Speedway earlier this year. And this is going to be totally re-racked and restacked, and once they get settled and nestled in their correct positions, we'll let you know who's starting where. This is the first Sportsman Sprint Limited race for Luke Didiak this year. He has 9 360 starts, 5 top 10s produced, 4 of which have been at Skagit Speedway, and a 7th place result in the 410s at Skagit earlier this year for his one and only start. So this will be his 3rd division in sprint cars. So Jake Wheeler and Luke Didiak will be the front row. Shane Forte, Jessen Jacobson, row 2. 3rd is Austin Sauce, and Kira Zylstra will start 6th. Row 4 is a pairing of Axel Oudman and Gary Treadway. Then you've got Ryan Hirschbach and TJ Richmond, and Corey Swatsina will round up the rest of the field starting in P11 in car number 2. Good to see that he was able to make it back out. So it is Oregon in a Washington car with a British Columbian driver on the front row. Here we go. Jake Wheeler takes control of the point, and lap number 1 will be led by the 7 in. Luke Didiak running in 2nd. Trouble. Corey Swatsina and Axel Oudman get together in turn 4. And we'll find out if there was indeed a lap complete there. That's our 2nd stoppage, but the 1st for a yellow. Looks like we're going to count a lap down and single file nose to tail restart coming up here. Axel Oudman and Corey Swatsina. Oudman has been doing a lot of traveling here to the Beaver State of Oregon. And it has resulted in 4 top 10s and 5 starts, all those at the place that we travel to tomorrow, Cottage Grove Speedway. 1 podium there, 1 podium at Grays Harbor Raceway as well. He's got 3 starts there, and 6 total starts at Skagit Speedway. So 14 total starts, 2 podiums, 4 top 5s, 7 top 10s for Axel Oudman. One of those young up-and-comers, along with Kira Zylstra and Jessen Jacobson from Washington. Trying to separate the 2 of Swatsina and the 7-0 of Oudman. So with 1 lap scored complete, Jake Wheeler, Luke Didiak, Shane Forte, Jessen Jacobson, and Austin Sauce, who finished 5th in this race last year, runs 5th right now. That's the top 5. Kira Zylstra will restart in 6th, 7th. Gary Treadway, Ryan Hirschbach, and TJ Richmond. All right, 1 down, 24 scheduled to go. Jake Wheeler in car number 7 in for Connor Roger Henderson is currently outpacing Luke Didick in the Allison Johnson-owned number 4 entry. Shane Forte, Jessen Jacobson, and Austin Sauce, the rest of the restart order of the top 5. As this one gets back underway, Austin Sauce in the 07 looking to take the high road around the 22. Jessen Jacobson for 4th. Jacobson holding on and keeping the 07 in check. Trouble, red flag, TJ Richmond, solo flip. I'm not sure if he hit something or what exactly happened there. TJ Richmond upside down.
Red is out.
And for the second time in this race, red flag flies. Getting the initial report from the safety crew, TJ Richmond is reporting that he is okay. But my goodness. What a night here in Coos Bay. Two laps complete, 23 scheduled to go. TJ Richmond was 13th, and it was looking like there might have been a little bit of dust. I don't know if he hit the tire in turn 4 or if he just got the car upset, but unfortunate to see TJ Richmond suffering this carnage here. After this, the pits will be open. You can get up close and personal with all these drivers, always up for signing autographs. They have hero cards. Some of them even have apparel for sale. Tomorrow night, round 2 of Week of Speed, Cottage Grove Speedway. Wednesday is going to be at Cottage Grove as well. Thursday, Sunset Speedway Park in Banks. Friday and Saturday, Grays Harbor Raceway in Elma, Washington. All right, green flag going to come out. 2 laps complete, 23 to go. Jake Wheeler leads, Luke Didiak, Shane Forte, Jessen Jacobson, Austin Sauce, leads Kira Zylstra, Ryan Hirschbach, and Gary Treadway. Sauce, bonsai move around the high side of Jessen Jacobson. He will go into 4th. Austin Sauce may have something going for himself, rolling the top. Jake Wheeler still leads. Luke Didiak is 2nd. 3rd is going to be a dogfight here between Shane Forte on the bottom and Austin Sauce. Oh no, your 2nd place driver, Luke Didiak, spins. He keeps going. He's going to cycle out 5th as Jessen Jacobson overtakes him. Shane Forte to the runner-up spot. 4-time defending Cottage Grove Speedway Limited Sprint Car champion is 2nd. He trails Jake Wheeler by a full straightaway as Wheeler's looking for his 7th victory at his 4th different racetrack. Luke Didiak trying to strike on the inside of Jessen Jacobson to pick up some lost ground. Ryan Hirschbach is up to 6th. The young man out of Klamath Falls, youngest driver in the field. Kira Zylstra is 7th. 8th is Gary Treadway. Treadway in danger of going a lap down as Jake Wheeler continues to roll here at Coos Bay. 4th place is still being fought over between Jessen Jacobson and Luke Didiak as the 32T of Treadway goes down a lap. Jake Wheeler simply makes the pass around the outside. Shane Forte, Austin Sauce, Jessen Jacobson, Luke Didiak, Ryan Hirschbach, and Kira Zylstra. That is your lead lap contenders. All 7 cars on the lead lap. The only one down a lap is Gary Treadway in the 32T. 10 down, 15 scheduled to go. Zylstra in the 21Z about to go down a lap. Jake Wheeler half a lap ahead of 2nd place with the luxury of 2 lap cars in between himself and your current runner-up, Shane Forte. Jake Wheeler putting on a clinic here tonight. Jake Wheeler in the 7N gets around Axel Oudman with the Blue Wing 7.0, and Oudman's going to spin. Axel Oudman in the 7.0 gets sideways on the front stretch. Holy Toledo, Jake Wheeler dominating form. Jake Wheeler the leader. Then we've got at least 1, if not 2, lap cars between 1st and 2nd. Kira Zylstra among one of them in the 21Z. And by the way, finish of the main event for the Dwarf cars: Camden Robustelli, Chris Kress, Danny Wagner, Sean Whitney, Tanner Kerr, the top 5. Danny Altum 6th, RC Lemon 7th, Aaron Morgenstern 8th, Shane Younger 9th, Devin Lahorg 10th, Josh King 11th, Colby Bergquist 12th, Adam Walker 13th, Travis Grugel 14th, John Crispin 15th, Corey Esteban 16th, Chance Russell 17th, Bryson Smith 18th, Dave Brune 19th, and Kyle Thompson 20th. Looks like no lap cars being shown right now. And as just I say that, 21Z of Kira Zylstra is going to be placed between 1st and 2nd. Shane Forte, 26F is 2nd, 0S of Austin Sauce 3rd, 4th Jessen Jacobson, 5th Luke Didiak. Now Didiak on that green flag run spun while running in 2nd, recovered to 5th, and has been trying to reclaim 4th from Jessen Jacobson. As of right now, not successfully so far, but we've still got 12 laps to go. We're just past the halfway mark with 13 complete, 12 to go. So that was an 11-lap green flag run. Ryan Hirschbach, 6th, is the last car on the lead lap. 32T Gary Treadway is laps down. Here we go, 12 laps to finish the distance as the 7 in of Jake Wheeler gets a great restart and already a straightaway lead ahead of Shane Forte, your current second place driver. Kira Zylstra in the 21Z is a lap car. Shane Forte has not made the clearance around Zylstra just quite yet as Austin Sauce looking to sling it on the high side. Shane Forte looking for some daylight downstairs, trying to thread the needle. They nearly go 3 wide. This is for position number 2. Shane Forte has still got second despite Austin Sauce on his heels. Austin Sauce is 3rd. Luke Didiak in car number 4 to position 4. It's Jessen Jacobson 5th as we're less than 10 to go. 9 remaining for Jake Wheeler. Jacobson is 5th. Ryan Hirschbach, last car on the lead lap, running in 6th. Jacobson and Hirschbach trying to get around Zylstra. Second place is hotly contested. Shane Forte in the 26F still holding on, and Austin Sauce now trying perhaps a lower approach. Is now trying to crack into the top 5 as the 78 of Ryan Hirschbach via the high side of Jessen Jacobson. Jake Wheeler in the 7 in leads. Shane Forte 2nd, Austin Sauce 3rd. Luke Didiak starting to catch up with P2 and P3. Ryan Hirschbach is in the top 5, 5th. Jessen Jacobson is 6th. Jacobson trying to take it back as we've got 5 to go this time around. 2 battles being waged. Shane Forte and Austin Sauce for 2nd. Ryan Hirschbach and Jessen Jacobson for 5th. As Sauce in the 07 tries to chug along the high side. Shane Forte in car 26F tries to keep him in check. Now Sauce goes to the bottom, but he still can't make the necessary pass. 3 to go as Jake Wheeler is half a lap ahead of second place runner Shane Forte with 1 lap car between positions 1 and 2. Ryan Hirschbach still has not cleared the 21Z of Kira Zylstra, nor has the 22J of Jessen Jacobson, and behind both of them is the 7 in of Jake Wheeler. Jake Wheeler trying to get past 6th place running Jessen Jacobson. White flag one more time around for Wheeler. Leading from the onset of this one, Jake Wheeler dominates to win the Speed Week opener here with ISCS and the Roger Henderson-owned 7-in entry out of Central Point. Shane Forte 2nd, 3rd will be Austin Sauce, 4th Luke Didiak, and 5th is going to come down to Ryan Hirschbach. Jessen Jacobson will be 6th, Kira Zylstra 7th, 8th Gary Treadway, 9th Corey Swatina, 10th TJ Richmond, 11th Axel Loudman, 12th Johnny Burke, and Dana Glenn 13th. How about it for Jake Wheeler race fans putting on simply a clinic here tonight at Coos Bay Speedway for the Speed Week opener. And we're going to go downstairs and grab a word with our top place finishers.